I'm joined now by Peter Spencer, the sports editor of the Manchester Evening News. Pete, welcome to the studio. What was your view on it then?
Well, it's basically two handballs. Should have been spotted by the referee. Having said that, the referee was in a reasonable position, and the linesman was in a position where there was other players in the way, so it would have been difficult for him to see it. So maybe if they had this fifth official like they did in the Europa matches behind the goal, he may well have seen something there. But the player himself could have turned around and said, I handballed it straight away.
Yeah.
And that would have taken the heat out.
Well, that opens up that debate. It opens up the debate about, you know, whether it's bad sportsmanship or cheating. I know Liam Brady went short of sort of calling it cheating, but a lot of papers have gone with that today. Well,
it's cheating, effectively. I don't mind saying that. I mean, he handballed it and they scored a goal and they've gone to the World Cup. If he'd have been brave and he wanted to maintain his legendary status in the game, that's what he should have done. He should have said, look, I handballed it, and the referee would have then not given the goal.
Because he's seen as a bit of a dignified character in some respects as well, Thierry Henry, I suppose.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see now about the way that his various sponsors react.
Yeah.
Gillette, for instance, have said they're going to stick by him. But I can't imagine many Irish people buying Gillette razor blades.
Well, that is true. That is true. I mean, there's this appeal now, of course, from the Football Association of Ireland, who have said about a match in 2005, a World Cup qualifier between Uzbekistan and Bahrain, which they declared void, and they said it was a technical error by the referee. Do you think this constitutes a technical error? They're saying it does because the FIFA commissioner, the referee's observer, and Henry himself have all acknowledged that it was handball.
Well, I don't think they'll replay it. I mean, we're going to go back to 1966, presumably, and replay that game when there's an argument about whether it crossed the line or not. And I'd be very interested to see what would have happened if it had been the other way around, and Ireland would have scored in the last few minutes.
Yeah.
And I bet then it would be, the French would be complaining.
Look at the Irish.
And then it would have been a completely different story. So I don't think it will be replayed, which would be a shame. But it does, once the match is finished, it would be ridiculous to start opening everything up. Having said that, my argument now is that if there is going to be a case for new technology to video matches, then this is the case. You can't get a more blatant example. So if it's going to happen now, because we won't get a more important game for a nation not to get into the World Cup when they deserve to have done so.
So do you think now that we should be introducing technology then?
I think they should now, yeah.
OK. So, obviously, you're a referee yourself as well, but, I mean, it's such a high-pressure situation for him, and up until that point, he's actually had a decent game as well, I suppose.
Yeah, he'd done well, the referee. They kept the flow going throughout, but it could just turn on a second like that. We're very interested to see what his assessment says, because he won't get a very good mark. I just wonder whether he made his decision a bit too quickly as well, and also tiredness might have played a part, because he'd been going for so long, 120 minutes by then, and so he would have been struggling.
OK, on to a story in tomorrow's paper. There's quite a big debate about Robinho, whether he's going to be fit to face Liverpool on Saturday, and whether he should play Liverpool on Saturday after everything that's happened with being called up to the Brazil squad and whatnot.
Well, we've got some photographs of him in training today, and he's giving the thumbs up to various photographers. So I imagine that'll be on the back page, although I've not made a final decision yet. And then the issue is whether he's going to start against Liverpool, as you say. Maybe he'll be on the bench, but he is keen to get playing again. That was shown by the fact he stayed with the Brazilian squad in controversial circumstances. So he does want to get playing. If he does want to move to Barcelona, as has been intimated in many quarters, including one of his teammates today, then he'll need to get playing as well. So there is double reason to get back playing, get over his injury and get himself a move, or indeed play well for City. So I think he may play some part.
OK, finally, obviously you can read about that in tomorrow's paper. Finally, we were talking before about bad excuses for being late for work. You're a sports editor, you must have had a few over your time.
Yeah, I get one a week from the troops. My favourite of all time was Paul Hince, the legendary soccer writer. He was due to be at the Arsenal game for United, and it was in the days of the football pink when he had to do running commentary. And we hadn't heard from him by half-time. So I thought, well, where's Hincey? So I started ringing the press box at was then Highbury. And there was no answer. And then eventually he rang up. He said, oh, don't worry. He said, I'll be able to pick up the first half, which was a bit of a strange thing to say. I said, well, why were you so late getting to the game? And he said he trips up over a squirrel.
Great stuff. Thanks very much for coming in, Pete.